What's up, guys, and welcome back to our realistic career mode. This is episode number 3, and we're coming back off the back of a cup win in the Carabao Cup against Brentford at home. A tidy little win there to see us through to the next round of the cup competition, as well as 3 points from our first two games in the league. Those 3 points came at Arsenal away on the opening day, beating Mikel Arteta's men. 2-1 came from behind to win that game, and then we lost at home to Chelsea. So mixed fortunes there. I mean, from those two games, very difficult first two games in the league. So we'll take 3 points. Those are the sort of teams we're not expecting to compete against in the league this season. So any points against those sorts of teams are a bonus. But yeah, it was nice to start off the league with a win. Obviously, losing at home to Chelsea wasn't ideal, but we bounced back a few days later with a cup win against Brentford with a much changed 11. We made 10 out of 11 changes. And as we come into today's episode, we face Liverpool away. So the fixtures don't come any easier in the league. Going to Anfield, an absolute cauldron of noise. This one's going to be tough for sure. I just wanted to make a quick note as well of you would have seen the cutscenes before the match, pre-match, and just all the scenes that they've added pre-match now. The build up, the atmosphere around the ground, inside the stadium, as the players are coming out. It's little things like that that really add to these sort of realistic career modes. You just get a real feel for the atmosphere. And yeah, I know that a lot of people are happy with these cutscenes. So little bits like that, EA great additions. But going into the game, Liverpool one draw, one loss, so they're actually under a bit of pressure. They are below us in the table at the moment. Obviously, we're only 2 games in. We make one change. Aurier comes in for Williams at right wing back, and yeah, even though Liverpool had only got 1 point from their first two games, this game went as you would expect it to go. Absolute domination from the home side from the off. Thiago giving the Reds the lead after just 3 minutes. Salah with a dinked finish after 22 minutes to make it 2-0. And yeah, it just felt like this first half in particular we were just absolutely suffocated by the players, the Liverpool players, and the home fans. They definitely made this a home game where they obviously felt like they had to get a result. 1 point from the first two is not expected from this very successful side. European champions a couple of seasons ago, so they definitely expected a response, and they would make it 3-0 just before half time. Salah getting his second of the game. Going into the second half, we had a rare attack going forward at Wonyi, but a good save from Alisson. Denied the new striker a third goal, I think it would have been in 4 games. So he's on a pretty decent run. Thiago then would get his second of the game and make it 4-0. Before Gibbs White would score a nice consolation goal from the edge of the box, but that's all it would be, a consolation, as Liverpool would see out this win. A very, very comfortable win for them. To kickstart their season, they're now on 4 points from 3 games. We stay on 3, 1 win, 2 defeats. Once again, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, these aren't the games we're expecting to pick up any points. So any points we do pick up from them are a bonus. It's the games, against lower opposition, that they are the ones that count. For example, the game coming up next, Leicester at home, it's a derby game. And I feel like Leicester could be a team that we are battling this season for that sort of mid-table, lower rank position. But yeah, we move on. And in the last episode, we spoke about Jack Colback, who looked like he was going to be on his way out. Looked like he played his last game in that cup game against Brentford. He got a standing ovation as he got subbed off. And I just felt like the perfect offer came from him here. Watford's in the Championship, an established Championship side who will be looking to return back to the Premier League. And I felt like it was just the perfect location for Colback to go to. So they came in with an offer that was actually higher than his valuation by 10,000, I think it was. So made a little bit of money on him. I think it'll be a good move for all parties. Very happy with that. We had more offers for Taylor, who we're still looking to get rid of, but obviously we're not going to sell him to just anyone. This is a realistic career mode, and we want to keep the transfers realistic, just like with the Colback to Watford. We had offers for, I think around Europe for Colback, and I just didn't feel like that was right. Same with Taylor. He's never played outside the UK, but I was willing to let him go, maybe to the MLS, and Philadelphia Union came in for an offer from the MLS. We accepted it, so now it's just up to Taylor to see if he wants to go through with that deal. But Colback out the door, Taylor we're looking to get rid of. we obviously do have a big squad still. As we look at the table, 16th after 3 games. Not panicking just yet, but we do need to start getting some points on the board. Newcastle, Wolves and Man City all with 100% records. 3 wins from 3. Wolves a bit of a shock in there. City, you would expect that. Newcastle, well, the job that Eddie Howe's doing this season is incredible. He's turned that team around in just a year. You know, when they were looking for a new manager after their takeover, everyone was thinking, you know, linking these big names, the Mourinho's, the Benitez's, managers like that, and then they went and got Eddie Howe, and I think a few people were a bit underwhelmed at first, but he's just been the perfect addition for them. He's brought in the right signings. They haven't spent crazy amounts of money, but they have brought in the right players. You know, Pope, Botman, Guimaraes, Isaac, brilliant players that have just suited this team well. Trippier as well, and now they're looking really good. Newcastle for a potential top 4 position. So seeing them with 3 wins from 3 might be something that we start to have to get accustomed to with Newcastle, but they deserve it. Such a rich history of a club, and they've definitely had some rough times, and their fans have stuck with them. So they absolutely deserve some success, and it's great to see them up on the top stage once again. And they have just secured their first cup final in, I think, over 20 years. In about 23 years, they're in the Carabao Cup final after beating Southampton in the semis. So good luck to them. But going into our second game of the day, Leicester at home, it is a derby. Oh God, I tell you, when I was playing this game, this had a good feel to it. Just, you know, the atmosphere, you saw the cutscenes again, the fans were ready. This one was going to be a big one against Leicester, our local rivals. It's been a long time since these two have played against each other in the Premier League, and they are back at it again. Leicester 2 wins from 3, so looking quite strong for them. A good start for Brendan Rodgers' men. But it was the home side, Forest, who would actually get the better start. Awoniyi, once again, this guy has hit the ground running. 9th minute, gets his second league goal. But he's been playing very well. Been very impressed with him so far. And you would have seen there as well, Vardy with a late tackle on our captain, Joe Worrell. And once the ball goes out of play, we actually do have to substitute the captain. So hopefully not a bad injury, but obviously an injury that has forced him off. And we would be bringing on Cheku Kiate, the defender slash midfielder signed from West Ham. We did have a transfer bid from him, but obviously we're not going to be accepting that. You know, a team from Saudi Arabia came in from him, but we've only just signed him, so not realistic. You would have also seen Brendan Johnson had an offer from Bilbao, a realistic career mode legend of a team. We did a realistic career mode with them last season with the Spanish club. Absolutely loved it. They wanted our youngster Brendan Johnson. We are not letting him go. But back to the game, and Jamie Vardy, the man who injured our captain, would score in, I think it was the 49th minute. There was 3 minutes added on of injury time that he caused to the injury to our captain Joe Worrell, and he would score. He would make it 1-1, tie up the game, and the game was pretty tight in the second half. Not too many chances. Awoniyi blast one over. Vardy put one wide, but the game sort of petered out in the second half, I'll be honest, and a draw maybe was a fair result. Not the worst result in our case, you know, it's not a loss, but it is at home, so we should be aiming for these wins. We'll take a point though, 4 points from 4 games. Not the best start, but not the worst either. Awoniyi with another goal. Time to see how this Joe Worrell injury is holding up. Luckily, if it is a bad one, we do have a lot of cover. You know, we've brought in so many players, 22 players over the summer, so we will have cover. But obviously, Worrell is our captain. He's our main man at the back, so we don't want to be losing anyone, especially this early. But we have got injury rate and severity up to make it realistic, because I feel like the injury rate, you don't get too many big injuries during a career mode. Only two or three a season, and that's not even big injuries, that's just regular injuries as well. So we up the severity. We want this to be as realistic as possible. Obviously nowadays these modern day players they do pick up injuries because they play so many games. So as we see here, Worrell did pick up a 2-month injury, dislocated shoulder for the captain, so he's going to be out of action until late October. As you see, Loic Bade, who another centre-back we've brought in, has basically said, look, Gaffer, I've seen Worrell's injured, put me in, I'm ready to play. Maybe Bade, well, we might put him in, but for now, we head to Brentford, Second time we've played the Peas in 2 episodes. We knocked them out of the cup last episode. Can we repeat that arc here? We've brought in Willy Bolly, so experienced centre back signed from Wolves. He's come into that back line to replace the injured Worrell, and hopefully he can carry on the work Worrell's doing. He was leading the line well there. Captain's armband has been given to the youngster Yates in the middle, though. Apart from that, it's the same 11 that started the game against Leicester. Brentford currently 2 wins, 2 defeats in the league, so a bit of hit and miss. But they do have Ivan Toney up top, and when you have this man up top, there is always a threat of goals, and he does give them the lead very early on. 16 minutes in, Toney gets another goal. He's been brilliant for them. He's been a great player for Brentford. We would respond to Awoniyi, 3rd goal of the season already. It's really good to see that he's hitting the ground running, because obviously we've brought in so many players, but we want the strikers to hit the form out of everyone, because if you're not scoring goals, you're not winning games. And so to see Awoniyi hitting the back of the net so easily, so frequently is great to see, and I know the Forest fans are loving it as well. The lead would last. The score would stay the same until the second half. Ivan Toney getting his 2nd of the game. It was a poor turnover from us. You know, the keeper made a good save. Dean Henderson made a good save, and then we should have cleared it. We should have played out, but we gave the ball away, and you get punished at the top level. You get punished. Forest might not have been punished for that sort of mistake in the Championship, but they're in the top division now, and they will get punished by top teams and top players like Toney and Brentford. Brentford would then make it 3-1 as well. Toney denied his hat-trick by Henderson, but Vitaly Janelt, the German centre mid, would make it 3-1 with the headed rebound. Awoniyi would get a late goal, his 4th in 5 games, to make it 3-2 and give us a grandstand finish, and we would have a small headed chance right at the end, but easily saved by the Brentford keeper, and it remains 3-2, and that would be it. Full time in this game. It's another loss in the league. You know, we're now 5 games in, 1 win, 1 draw, 3 defeats. We're sat in 18th in the league. Not time to panic just yet. Obviously, this is the sort of position we would be expected to be in, but we do need to start seeing some points on the board. The performances are there, the goals are there, but we need to convert those into wins. But that will be it for today's episode. Only 1 point picked up from a possible 9. Not a great start to our life in the Premier League, but we're keeping calm. We move on. We may have lost our captain for 2 months, but we're keeping positive. Hopefully we can bounce back in episode 4. But that will be it for today. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.